Yo, it's your boy Marcus, aka Just One Marcus on the Just One channel. D'Lo is back in LA for the first time in like how many years? He played 2 seasons with them, then spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seasons on other teams, well, like 3 other teams, and he is finally back in LA, this time with some better talent around him in LeBron and AD. If you don't know the full trade by now, the Lakers traded this was a 3-team deal between the Lakers, Minnesota, and Utah. So the Lakers sent Russ to Utah. They got back D'Lo, Vanderbilt, and Beasley from Utah. Then the Timberwolves got Mike Conley, Nah, and 2 second-round picks with a second-round pick swap from the Lakers. And then the Jazz got Juan Toscano, Damian Jones, and a 2027 first from the Lakers along with Westbrook. So this trade happened on Wednesday night, which I believe was February 9th. And I actually filmed this rebuild already on Wednesday because I didn't think the Lakers were going to make any other moves on Thursday. I didn't think they had the ability to or wanted to. And in the rebuild I already filmed, I was using Thomas Bryant as like a big piece throughout the video as a power forward. Then Thursday, right before I'm about to start editing the video to get it up for Friday, I see the Lakers traded Thomas Bryant to Utah or to Denver for some second-round picks because they wanted to open up the spots for Vanderbilt and these other guys to get more minutes. So I decided to just take it as an L and refilm it. This is gonna be a 10-year rebuild. I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat realistic. I'm gonna do this first couple years with like D'Lo back, try to get a ring with LeBron, and then after that we're gonna do the post-LeBron era and see if we can rebuild it around to still compete. For this first year though, D'Lo obviously at the 1 with 33 a night. I'm gonna start Beasley just because he's like a kind of a sharpshooter, which would be nice to have around LeBron. So he's gonna get 25. LeBron's gonna get 36, most on the team. Vanderbilt starting at the 4 with 25. He's going to be insanely good defensively for them. He's not the best offensive scorer, but he brings the much needed defense, especially if AD is not showing up, which the past couple games, I don't know what's been wrong with him, but like since the night LeBron broke his scoring record, AD was acting hella weird. He had a bad game and is trying to say it's because they were losing, when the only reason why they had a chance was because LeBron was having such a good game and he wasn't. But anyways, he's going to start at the 5 with 33. Rui 6th man with 23. Austin Reeves 7th man with 23. So these guys kind of swapping the minutes with Beasley and Vanderbilt. And then you have Bamba at the 8th spot with 15. Schroeder getting 15. And Lonnie Walker ending it off with 12. The team right now is 13th in the West. I feel like Utah is going to drop. OKC is going to drop. But some of these other teams up here, it might be kind of tough. So hopefully we can squeeze into a play-in spot, which is what the Lakers want to do this year. But if we're not able to, I think next year will definitely be a year that they'll get into the playoffs without even needing a play-in. So we're just going to sim the rest of the year here and hope these guys can get into a spot. Year 1 is wrapped. Here's your awards. We're not going to spend too much time on it because it's honestly pretty much the same every year. Russ ends up on the Magic though, which is surprising because he's going to ask for a buyout from Utah, probably to go to a contender, and then in this universe he goes to the Magic, which is really weird. Claxton, Depoy, Şengün Most Improved, Joe Mazzulla Coach of the Year. Here is your All-NBA first, none of our guys. All-NBA second, we do get LeBron, and All-NBA third, we do not get AD. Here's your All-Defensive first with none of our guys, and we get LeBron on All-Defensive second, but not AD. And here is your All-Rookie teams. So we do end up as the 10 seed, but it is a tough matchup against the 9-seeded Clippers, who have Bones Highland now, which I actually love that move for them. I think he's going to be great around their system. And Mason Plumlee is a low-key really good pickup because in the minutes that Zubac was not on the floor, it seemed like they were getting cooked. So having Mason Plumlee there, another really good big man to back him up, will be really nice. We're just going to go through the stats really quick here. LeBron, 27, 8, and 7. Has a pretty good year. Shooting from 3, though, not the best. AD also has a really good season, 24 points, 12 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Surprised he wasn't all defensive. Still not the best 3-point shooter. D'Lo, we got to look at his split stats over here from before All-Star and since All-Star. So his points go down, his rebounds go down, his assists go down surprisingly, and his shooting actually got way worse, which is not good. Beasley though, his points also come down, his rebounds come down, so pretty much all their numbers come down. His shooting though gets way better than when he was over there in Utah. Rui has a pretty solid season for us, all things considered. Honestly, we should probably go to his split stats as well before All-Star and since All-Star. So his points obviously come down, but his shooting over here got way better. Lonnie Walker has a solid scoring season for us off the bench. Dennis Schroeder also has a solid year. Doesn't shoot the best though, but he did pretty much good playmaking for us. Austin Reeves had a really good year. 10 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, shot insanely efficiently, almost 50, 40, 90. And then Troy Brown did not play for us anymore, but Mo Bamba did. So he averages the same amount of points, a bit more rebounds for us. His assists came down though, and his shot got way better over here. Better from the field, better from 3, and slightly better from the line. Vanderbilt's points come way down, obviously, because we have other guys. His rebounds and assists kind of stay the same, and his steals come up slightly, but his shooting gets worse, unfortunately. So first playoff game against the Clippers, we have to beat them to get in. I'm just gonna simulate through it, and we win. So now we have a second play-in game against the Kings, who I really don't think are gonna be a play-in team this year. I think they're gonna be a solidified playoff team. They still have the same roster as they do right now. They're starting Trey Lyles over there though, so we definitely have the star power to beat them. Can we make it out of here? We can. So we actually make it into a playoff spot. That is crazy. I will be shocked if we can win this series against Denver though. They're an insanely good team this year. Jamal Murray, KCP, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, all of them just work so well together. Let's see how this goes. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. We're up 3-1. We're not gonna choke this. Oh my god. We beat the Denver Nuggets as technically a 10 seed coming in to go against the 1 seed in 5 games in the first round. That is insane. It was not Jokic's fault. He had a great game. AD goes off. I was talking down on this guy at the start of this, and then he just in his video comes out and goes crazy. LeBron had a great game. D'Lo had a great game. And yeah, most of the role guys here also stepped up as well. So who are we going to have in round 2? The Memphis Grizzlies, which I think are very beatable, probably more beatable than the Pelicans would have been. They do have Ja though. Desmond Bane's really good. Dylan Brooks not the best. Triple J really good. And Steven Adams back in this game. Can we pull another upset here? Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Can we take the lead again? Game 5, we can. Game 6, can we get out of here? Oh my god, we are in the Western Conference Finals to go against the 7 seed Dallas Mavericks. So the 7 and 8 seed make it out. They do have Luka and Kyrie, so that's pretty crazy. They make it out of there. Their 3 and 4 though are not good, especially matched up against us. And obviously AD is on another level compared to Christian Wood. I could low-key see something like this happening in the West this year with how stacked it is, like how close everyone is. But let's see if we can make it out of here. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. Oh my god, dude. We make it out of the West. LeBron James, the GOAT. 35 points, 9 boards, 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 block as your Western Conference MVP. And he's going against the Cavs, his former team that he got their only championship with Donovan Mitchell as the Finals MVP. I meant Western Conference Finals MVP, but yeah, the Cavs are an insanely good team. Garland, Mitchell, an insane backcourt. Mobley, Allen, an insane front court. They do have a weak spot in Isaac Okoro though, so LeBron James is gonna have to come up big here. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we win. Can we come back in Game 4? We can. Game 5, it's 3-2 for the Cavs. I'm gonna simulate through the game. Oh my god, Game 7 NBA Finals, Cavs versus Lakers. Simulate with Simcast. This is insane. So far it's really back and forth. We take a pretty big lead though, but they immediately fight back. Going into the half, they're slightly up, but it's still back and forth going into the 4th quarter. It's anyone's game right now, and the Cavs seem like they're pulling away with it. And yeah, they have an insane 4th quarter and just outplay us. And unfortunately, the Cavs beat the Lakers in the NBA Finals with Donovan Mitchell as your Finals MVP. In that closeout game, LeBron had a really good game. AD did not shoot the ball well from 3. D'Lo choked it as well, shooting from 3. Beasley also wasn't the best. So yeah, our main guys just didn't show up. Rui had a terrible game, and Schroeder also had a terrible game. Making it to a finals already in this rebuild, even though I technically didn't do anything except for adjust some of these player minutes, is pretty huge. So hopefully we can keep that momentum up going into that 2nd year here. Draft lottery, I don't think we would have anything crazy. Yeah, we have the 20th pick. We could maybe get a solid guy there. Anthony Black fell to me at pick 20, and he's projected to go like 5 to 13. So I think he would be a solid pickup here. He has all NBA potential, pretty good grades, not the best offensively, but playmaking and defense, he's really good. And I feel like if he just progresses being like a reserve for a couple years, his offense will get better. So I'm going to take a chance on him here with the 20th pick. 2023 draft is wrapped. Here's your top 7 if you want to stop and take a look where any of those guys went. And we did get Anthony Black, here's a 74. And then Ricky Council, my assistant GM, picked up in the 2nd round. I'll honestly pick him up too, see if he progresses as a reserve. Team player options. Bamba, I will accept because he played really well for us. Beasley, I'm going to decline because I feel like I could get him back on a cheaper deal. I just don't think he's worth almost $17 million in this game, being a 76 overall. Devon Reed, I'm going to let go of. Same with Cole Swindler and Scottie Pippen Jr. So yeah, we got to get Beasley back in free agency on a better deal. Rui and Austin Reeves both getting the qualifying offers here though. So if we go into free agency, oh yeah, we also have to bring D'Lo back, which is a thing. Now I was going to say I could go for Kyrie here instead, which is something that's rumored to happen in real life. But the Mavs offered this guy a 5-year max for $240 million. I don't think the Lakers would give him that, especially because LeBron's probably retiring in like 2-3 years, or he's going to move to a different team. So I think the move here is to just go and get D'Lo back. So I'm going to try to bring him back on a 4-year backloaded deal starting at 22.5 mil and ending at around 26. Then I'm going to try to get Beasley back on a 3-year backloaded deal starting at 10 mil and ending at 11. So much more discounted than that almost 17 mil on his team option. I'm actually going to bring Lonnie Walker back too on a 2-year flat deal. I'm not going to give him a player option though, so just 2 years straight, 10 mil for each year. So D'Lo, Beasley, Walker all agree. Reeves, Rui, Schroeder, I would have to get back. Wenyen Gabriel, I know they like him in real life, but like in this game, his stats just aren't the best. I don't think I would rather have him over some other guys, so I'm going to renounce his rights. Same with Troy Brown. His overall is just too low, and yeah, these guys are going to renounce as well. I'm going to give Rui a 4-year contract extension, backloaded starting at 13.5 and ending at around 15.5. And he actually got an offer from another team, which would be around 16.5 million each year for 3 years, so 50 mil straight. I'm going to accept him to that and then potentially look to trade him maybe in a year or two or at the trade deadline. I do not have the money to re-sign Schroeder anymore, so I'm going to sign Javon Carter to a 1-year, $5 million deal. He agrees to that. And I also don't have the money to bring Reeves back, so I just need him to accept his qualifying offer, which he does. So player progression, LeBron obviously drops down. Walker and Beasley go up though, which is good. Rui, for some reason, and Bamba are regressing at 25 years old, which makes no sense. But Max Christie also goes up. Maybe I'll look to give him some more minutes this year because I know he's a fan favorite over there in LA and he can potentially be good. Let's get this draft class loaded in and sim to the second season, then hopefully make it back to the finals. Here's the lineup for the second season. Same starting 5 as last year, but off the bench now we got Lonnie Walker, Rui, Austin Reeves, Mo Bamba, Javon Carter, who's a new addition. And I'm actually going to run an 11-man rotation for a bit because I do want to give Max Christie some minutes and see if he's any good. And maybe I can trade Lonnie Walker and swap Max Christie in those minutes. So let's sim probably up to the trade deadline and see how the team is looking in this second season. Okay, we are at the trade deadline and this team is going off. We are 42-13. About halfway through the season. That is good enough for first in the West, and we have like a 5-game cushion, and we're the best team in the league right now. If we look at the numbers, Lonnie Walker is not having a good shooting year, and Max Christie is actually shooting way better than him. So I think it would be smart here to potentially put together a package with Lonnie Walker, maybe Rui, who doesn't stretch the floor very well, which is kind of what we need around LeBron, and some first-round picks to upgrade the roster even more. So here's a trade that was actually rumored to happen in real life this year, but the Pistons did not like any of the offers. And now you still have Bogdanovic here. No one else has wanted to trade for him. He's 34 years old and does not fit the timeline of this Pistons team. Like if you look at their oldest guys, once you get rid of 34-year-old Bogdanovic, your youngest guy is 26. So we can make a trade here to give them 25-year-old Lonnie Walker, 26-year-old Rui, and 2 second-round picks. So they immediately get 2 guys they can plug in who are on multi-year deals to run with this young to mid to young roster they have. for the next couple years and try to compete and grow with. So I feel like this is somewhat of a realistic offer. We also get Trey Lyles here, who's probably not going to play for us, but he can be a good guy if someone fouls out. So we're going to see if the Pistons do this trade at the deadline and they agree. So now we're going to run a 10-man rotation. I just let 2K come up with all the numbers. Same starting 5, except we now have Bojan Bogdanovic as our 6th man. And Trey Lyles, though, actually, I do not want him getting any minutes. So even though Max Christie is cold, I'm actually going to swap them out for each other and maybe give Max Christie like 10 minutes and give Mo Bamba the rest of those minutes and make him like the 7th man. So let's sim to the end of the year now and hope that trade made us even better. So we slightly fall off on our pace, but still have a really good year, 57-24 with 1 game left against the Blazers, and we lose, so 57-25. Luka MVP, Wemby Rookie of the Year, Amen Thompson 6th man, Giannis Deep White, Garland Most Improved, McMillan Coach of the Year. Surprising we didn't get it because we had the better record. Here's your All-NBA first, All-NBA second with LeBron still on there, and All-NBA third with AD back on there, so good to see that. AD also back on all-defensive team, and LeBron does not make it this time, unfortunately. I don't think we would have any rookies. We do not. So yeah, we are good enough for the 1 seed, and I think that also means we did end up still with the best record in the league, which we did. Stats on the year, LeBron leads the way, 24, 8, and 7 with a steal, shooting much better than last year. Honestly, his last couple years there. AD 19 points, 12 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. His shooting also gets better, at least from 3. D'Lo has a good 2nd season with us, a true full season with us, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. I wish he had more of those, and his efficiency was still pretty good. Bogdanovic, we have to go to his before and after. So when he got there, when he got here, he actually put up almost 2 more points, 1 more board, pretty much the same amount of assists, and his shooting pretty much stayed the same, so we'll take that. Beasley had a great year for us, 13 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, shooting 48, 43, 80. Bamba had a really good year, 8 points, 6 boards, 1 block, shooting 50, 40, 67, so he's insanely efficient for us. Trey Lyles didn't play for us. Austin Reeves had a really good year with us as well, shooting-wise at least. Vanderbilt shot insanely efficient from the field, not the best from 3 still, but he's still giving us that defense, 7 boards, 1 steal. Max Christie, like I said, he had a really efficient year for us, and even in that bigger role, still gave us a decent amount of points. Javon Carter was a low-key really good pickup, not because he puts up a lot of numbers, but he gave us 2 assists in 11 minutes per night. Still almost gave me a steal and shot efficiently, so he was a really good pickup there, and that was all the guys. So who do we have in round 1 here? We have the 8 seed Pelicans. So just like last year, we were a tough matchup for the 1 seed. The Pelicans are going to be an insanely tough matchup for us. I think we should be good here, though. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we win. Can we get out of here? We do. So now we have the team we upset last year in the first round, the Denver Nuggets, who are the 4 seed. Still the same squad as last year, but now they have a downgrade at that starting 2 spot in Bembry. So I feel like we should be all right here. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we lose. We were down 2-1 last series. Can we make another comeback? The Nuggets go up 3-1. Are we going to get out here? And we get eliminated by the team we eliminated last year. Who ends up going to the finals. The Cavs are about to go back-to-back, though. And yeah, they sweep the Nuggets with Donovan Mitchell as your finals MVP. So LeBron is trying to retire. I'm going to avoid it for 1 year just because I feel like we have a really good chance to win still with him. We did not have any picks this year, so straight to team player options. Anthony Davis actually declines. Ronnie Council, I'll accept his option. So we gotta hope we can re-sign AD. Christie and Reeves both getting their qualifying offer extended. So yeah, I'm just gonna give AD the most money I can offer him. I don't want to give him a no trade clause though, just in case I do want to move him a couple years from now. So we're gonna see if he takes this max extension for 5 years. I'm gonna bring Mo Bamba back on a 3-year deal starting at 9 mil and ending at around 10. Then I'm gonna try to bring Vanderbilt back on a 4-year deal starting at around 16.5 and ending at 19. So we're gonna get all 3 of those guys back. I'm gonna give Max Christie a 5-year extension starting at 11 mil and ending at around 13. He agrees to that. I'm gonna try a different look at that backup point guard spot with TJ McConnell on a 1-year minimum deal. Now I have to hope I get Austin Reeves back on a qualifying again, and I do, so good to see that. Player progression, obviously LeBron and AD declining now. Bogdanovic also declining, but he's on the last year of his deal, so we don't have to worry about him eating up our salary once LeBron leaves. And everyone else is going up, but TJ McConnell also goes down, which is unfortunate. Let's sim to this third season and hope that we can keep the playoff success rolling and try to get back into that finals again with LeBron for one last time. So for this third year, I'm actually going to run an 11-man rotation to start it off again. Same starting five as the last 2 years with Reeves, Bogdanovic, Trey Lyles. I'm going to give some run just to see if he has a better shooting season. Mo Bamba, Max Christie, and TJ McConnell rounding it off. Probably going to stop at the trade deadline again to try to make another big move, because when you have LeBron James, you got to try to make all the moves you can to compete for a championship. All right, so we're at the trade deadline. We're 32-23, which is good enough for fourth in the West, but we're only like 2 games out of being a play-in team, which I don't like. I looked around the league for teams that were rebuilding and selling to try to get a all-star level caliber player to trade for with some of my older guys and some of my younger assets, but everyone is on long-term deals, so I didn't really like any of the guys. A guy I was thinking of was Kristaps, but if you see at the top there, I don't even have to go into the contracts. He's on a 4-year, $140 million deal at 29 years old. I just don't want to take him on for that long. But then you have OG here, who somehow ended up on the Wizards on a 1-year, $2 million deal, and he would be a guy I would trade for right now, even some younger pieces to try to push for a chip. He's a 6-man for them. He would probably start for me. So I'm going to try to put that package together. So I just realized Clay is also on their team and on a pretty friendly contract, probably because he's getting up there in age at 35 years old. So the Wizards got both these guys on the steal, I guess, to try to compete with Bradley Beal and Kristaps, which hasn't been working out. So I'd be willing to give them Ricky Council, who's a young guy I picked up in the second round that has really good grade potentials. Austin Reeves, I would get rid of him as well to get a guy like Clay to compete with right now. 2 first-round picks, and then Trey Lyles again to make the contract money work, who's also actually having a pretty decent season. So he could actually be an all-right player for them. And then Marcus Morris Sr. and some seconds just to kind of make the value work. I hope they agree to this. I don't know if they would. Okay, Austin Reeves has a no trade clause. I didn't accept that, so I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, so here's the offer again with everything more organized. Trey Lyles, Ricky Council, Reeves, 2 firsts and a second for Clay, OG, and Marcus Morris Sr. Do they agree? They do. Oh my God. That is probably going to be huge for us in terms of competing this year. So yeah, here's what our new 10-man lineup is looking like post Wizards trade. D'Lo at the 1, Clay at the 2, LeBron at the 3, OG at the 4, AD at the 5 with Vanderbilt 6th man, Beasley 7th man, Bamba 8th man, Christie 9th man, and Bogdanovic as the 10th man. I feel like this lineup is a lot better. I am taking McConnell out of the rotation, even though he does say like he's playing pretty well. I just don't want to have him in there if I can have these other guys who are much better. So I moved LeBron to a backup point guard spot to make up for some of those minutes. I think that was a huge trade for us. Let's hope it's enough come playoff time to get us over the top. Third season is about to wrap. Slightly disappointing. We're 45-36 with 1 game left against the Jazz, and we win, so 46-36. Garland is the new MVP, Isaiah Collier Rookie of the Year, Amen Thompson 6th man, Wemby, Depoy, Suggs Most Improved Cell and Magic, and Dagnall Coach of the Year. All NBA first, none of our guys. Second, none of our guys for the first time this video. And LeBron and AD both get on 13 though, so good to see that. No All NBA first guys. AD gets all defensive second though, and we do not have any rookies. So we're actually a play-in team, which is pretty surprising. Quick run through the stats. LeBron 23 points, 7 boards, 6 assists. Shooting is gone down a bit as he's getting older. AD still 19 points, 11 boards, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Shooting pretty much the same. D'Lo had a similar shooting season as well. The past 3 years, he's been pretty much doing the same thing for us. Beasley still shooting very well, putting up double-digit points. Klay Thompson, we got to look at his split stats. So before All-Star, he's putting up less than 10 a night. He comes here and puts up 15 points a night, gives me 3 assists, and shoots very efficiently. OG came here, his points came down, his rebounds went up, his assists went up, but his scoring actually fell off a cliff, so that is not good to see. He was atrocious for us. Bogdanovic had a solid year, even though he's getting older, still shooting efficiently from 3. Max Christie still giving us a good number of points, shooting efficiently. Bamba had kind of an off season, which probably attributed to us or contributed to us not being as good, but he still played good defense. Vanderbilt also had a worse shooting season, which also contributed to us being worse, but played good defense. McConnell stopped playing for us, and that was all of the guys. So we're going to have 2 cracks at this. First game against the Blazers, who have Dame. They don't have Simons anymore. They have Sharp starting at the 2 now with TD, Trenton Watford, and they have Miles Turner at the 5 now. So I think we should be good here. Simulate through game, and we obviously lose it because I thought, oh my god, I simulated the plane by accident. And we beat the Spurs, which was kind of scary. Clay goes off for 32 in that playing game. AD 26. LeBron did not have the best shooting night. D'Lo also had a really good game, double-double. And yeah, the young guys over there cannot handle it. So now we have the 1 seed OKC, who is here and is always a problem in 2K at this point, with 96 Shea, 90 Giddey, 80 Matas Buzelis, 85 Miles Bridges, and 85 Chet. We upset the 1 seed before. Can we do it again? Game 1 we lose. Game 2 we lose. Can we come back in game 3? We do win a game. Game 4 we also win. So we're coming back here. Oh my god, we go 3 unanswered. Can we make it out? Oh, we go to a game 7. This is it. Game 7, LeBron's last chance to make a finals run here. Simulating with Simcast. OKC starts off very hot. And oh my god, they are blowing us out of the water here. We do not have a chance. We get absolutely smoked, 122 to 88, and losing 7 in the first round. Shea goes off for 34 and 10 with 5 steals. Giddey puts up a double-double. And yeah, LeBron was pretty good. AD was efficient from the field, but not from 3. Oh my gosh, dude. D'Angelo Russell, 7 for 22, 2 for 13. That is god-awful. Clay didn't play the best. Max Christie did not play good. I actually took OG and Bogdanovic out because look at their playoff numbers over here. This man was shooting 30 from the field, 25 from 3, and 0 from the line. And Bogdanovic was also just atrocious. So unfortunate for that last run with LeBron. We're going to see who wins the finals here, and then probably move to a post-LeBron era now that we did not make it again, as the Cavs, I'm pretty sure, just three-peated with Garland as your finals MVP. Okay, so I actually don't see LeBron here retiring again, so maybe he's gonna run it back for 1 more year and we can give him a 1-year deal. So we just had a 2nd round pick this year, and my assistant GM signed this guy, so I'll just accept him, see if he progresses as a reserve. LeBron declines his player option. We are going to, I don't know where I went, accept Anthony Black. He's probably going to have a big role this year. Going to qualifying offers, none of our guys. All right, I'm going to bring LeBron back for one last time. 1 year, $50 million, because he does have contracts from other team for like 40, so I don't want to lose him. He agrees right away. So after I got LeBron back, I just brought in Larry Nance to play some backup power forward for us, and then I brought Terrence Mann, who was in free agency, to be our backup point guard. Here's player progression though. LeBron goes down, AD stays the same, which is nice to see. I think a move we might have to make if we don't do it this year is moving on from D'Lo, who has 2 years left. Vanderbilt, I don't know if I like the fit that much. Anthony Black is going to be coming up and probably be going off for us very soon. Christie is going to be progressing very well as well. So yeah, this is kind of a year here to see if we can still win with LeBron. He is 41 though. So if it's not working out by the trade deadline, I might just look to sell right away. And then by that point, we would maybe move on from AD2 and try to retool the roster with a younger squad. Here's our 10-man lineup for this 4th year though. D'Lo at the 1, Anthony Black getting put right into the fire at that starting 2 spot, who's an 81 now. LeBron at the 3, Vanderbilt 4, AD 5, with Christie as a 6th man now getting a bigger role. Beasley 7th man, Bamba 8th man, Terrence Mann 9th man, and Nance as the 10th man. We have a 4.5-star balanced system, which is the highest of this video, so hopefully that means our record is going to be very good and we cannot end up in the play-in this time. We are at the trade deadline. We're 29 and 26, which I'm guessing is a play-in team. Yep, it's enough for the 8th seed. And if I go over here to the stats and show you how some of these guys are playing, that is not the stats, that is the rookie report. Go to points over here and we go down to Mo Bamba. This guy is playing like garbage, absolute garbage. And Larry Nance is having a decent year, but I'm thinking I might package both of these guys in a first to try to just get a solid power forward center and shorten my rotation a bit because everyone else is playing good. Okay, so I'm going to try to trade Mo Bamba, Larry Nance, and probably 2 seconds to get JRE over here and move him to a backup power forward center who's just having a much better season. Mo Bamba is better defensively, so maybe the Pelicans would value that, as they also get Larry Nance back, who can still stretch the floor for them, and they get 2 second-round picks here, which they can maybe use in a different trade. So we're gonna see if they agree to this. KZ Opala doesn't really matter here, and they have a counter offer. They want to give me a first, and I give them back 2 seconds. That's really dumb, so I guess I'll just give them 3 seconds instead of 2 and see if they agree to that, and they do. I'm not going to show the lineup again because we just took out 2 guys, and like I said, put JRE in there, so we're just going to sim to the rest of the year and see if we end up out of the play-in. 4th season is about to wrap. Another disappointing year, 42-39, 1 game left, and we lose, so 42-40. Wemby is now MVP, Basala Rookie of the Year, Bryce is your 6th man, Wemby Depoy, Wagner Most Improved, and Dwayne Casey Coach of the Year. He was your All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. So for the first time, we get nobody on there, and we don't even get a defensive guy. We would have got Anthony Black on All-Rookie team, but he did end up playing a bit in these first couple years, even though I didn't have him in the rotation, which is unfortunate. We ended up as an 8 seed though, with a tough matchup against the Nuggets. Stats on the year, obviously his numbers are coming down. He's still pretty efficient though, which is good to see. AD also has a really efficient year, probably his most efficient year in a while, and still plays good defense. Anthony Black, you just saw his numbers he put up a lot of points, good rebounds, good assists, really good defense. Just his 3-point shooting wasn't the best. D'Lo had a really good year for us, so if I do look to trade him this offseason, I feel like his value will be a lot higher. Max Christie in a bigger role played great, almost 14 points, 4 rebounds, shooting 48, 47, 80. Beasley had an insanely good year, so I don't know if I have him locked up for multiple years here. No, this is his last year, so I'd have to look maybe to sign and trade him if I want to. JRE came in here. I think he plays solid. We should look at his split stats though. So his points came down, rebounds stayed the same, assists slightly went up, and his shooting got worse from the field but better from 3, so we'll take that. Man had a good year too, better than his last season, which we'll take. Vanderbilt played insanely well, shot 50, 60, 70. Probably did not take that many 3-point attempts. Yeah, he shot 18 of them and made 11, which honestly I'll take that. That's still pretty good. And he played good defense still, and that was everyone who played. So once again, we get 2 chances at this. Denver is a very tough team though. They actually have a really good starting 5. I'm shocked they're a 7 seed, so I honestly don't feel confident about it. Simulate through game, and we actually win, so we don't have to sweat it all over here. We end up as the 7 seed to go against the 2-seeded Portland Trailblazers, who do not have Dame anymore. They actually do have Simon, so maybe he was coming off the bench before. 87 Amen Thompson, 87 Simons, 86 Sharp is an insanely good young 1-2-3. Isaiah Stewart as a 4 and Miles Turner as a 5 is still pretty solid. I don't feel that confident here. Game 1, we win though. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we win. Can we get out of here? Game 6, we win. So we make it into the second round, simulate round, to go against the Houston Rockets, who are the 3 seed, with 89 Scoot, 93 Jalen Green, Lonnie Walker Revenge Series at the 3, with Jabari Smith 88 at the 4 and 88 Şengün at the 5. That is an insanely good young team. Will 2K value the veteran experience? Game 1 we lose, Game 2 we lose, Game 3 we win, Game 4 we also win, Game 5 we lose. This is it. LeBron's legacy on the line. Not really, but we're just gonna see if we can come back here. And we actually force a Game 7. So we're going to simulate this one with Simcast. Hopefully it works out better for us this time, as we're up going into the first. They come back into this halftime. It's a really back and forth game going into the 4th. Are they going to pull away with it? It seems like they are. Yep. The Rockets just have more of a deep roster. And we lose in the second round in 7. Jabari Smith, Jalen Green having huge games. Tari Eason came up big for them. Scoot with a double-double. D'Lo, 42 and 10 in the closeout. Played insanely well. Anthony Davis and LeBron both had really good games too. Anthony Black, though, just too young, could not handle the moment shooting from 3. Max Christie played great too, and JRE did not play the best, but Vanderbilt played pretty solid. So yeah, unfortunately for LeBron's era, that's probably going to be it over here at least. And I honestly think we have a good enough team though to move forward and still compete with AD potentially, as Cade wins Finals MVP with the Pistons winning the championship in 2026, I believe. So yeah, that is it. LeBron finally retires along with some other big names here in Harden, DeRozan, Paul George, John Wall, Draymond. So yeah, a lot of big names retire here. Hall of Fame. We'll just look at this for the Lakers fans. Harden and LeBron get in there. DeMar does not make it though. Jersey retirements. LeBron, Harden, and Draymond. No DeMar or Paul George though. I'm surprised Paul George doesn't get it retired by the Pacers. So I actually have my pick at 16 this year, which I could potentially use in a D'Lo trade or just pick up a guy and try to progress with these young pieces. I think I'm gonna move on from Darvin Ham and try to pick up some high rated guys here in Steve Kerr and Spoelstra, maybe even Monty Williams here. So I can either pick up Monty Williams or Eric Spoelstra. It seems like Eric Spoelstra does have better ratings, so I think I'm going to decline Monty Williams and pick up Eric Spoelstra as the new head coach of the Lakers. So I couldn't trade the 16th pick because it was used in a previous trade, and I think Malik Thomas here is the best guy. He's projected to go as high as 2. He has all NBA potential. I do need a backup point guard or maybe even a point guard for the future. And he's a pretty decent scorer, a really good playmaker, and plays decent defense. So I'm going to give him a chance here. He comes in at a 75, which is really good to see from a young guy. Anthony Black and Jackie Howard will accept both of those guys. Qualifying offers. I don't know who this guy is. I'm not going to give it to him. So there's some really solid guys here in free agency. Obviously, KD and Steph, who are on the much older side, who I could sign potentially for like a year or two to try to win still with Anthony Davis. Or I could also go a younger route with guys like Triple J and pair him with AD or even De'Aaron Fox down here. So if I throw D'Lo in the trade finder to get off of his around 26 mil and we just look at through the offers here, Bones Highland is a very good offer from the Clippers. Somewhat of a young point guard, plays really well, has really good grades, not the best defender though, is a good option plus a first round pick. But the Grizzlies will offer me 2 first round picks for D'Lo, who, like I said, had an insanely good year last year. You can see the numbers right here. You saw him in that closeout game, had a 40-10 game. And if you look here, they have Jaw still, they have a bunch of guards, but Gary Trent did not have nearly as good of a season as D'Lo did last year. So maybe they look to move Gary Trent off his 1-year deal and replace D'Lo in that spot. So like I said, the first couple years I tried to do more realistic. Now we're not going to go that realistic. I don't know if the Grizzlies would actually give up 2 firsts, but coming off the year D'Lo had, maybe they would. So we're going to do this trade with the Grizzlies in the offseason, and they agree. Now I do want to clear off Vanderbilt and JRE's salary, so I have the money to bring in another max guy. And Sky Clark is a really good young point guard. I'd be willing to slot in here and progress with us. The Kings will also give me a future first round pick. Maybe they bring back De'Aaron Fox and can still run up a competitive lineup with these 2 guys who are experienced in the league. So they should agree to this, and they do. I think Jaren Jackson is the guy I want to bring in here. He's only 26. He only has 1 offer, and it's not really real. So I could maybe get him on a bit of a steal here at 40 mil for 4 years, backloaded, ending at around 46. So he should agree to it, and he does agree to it right away. I am going to have to renounce Beasley though, but I should be able to get him back in the future. So yeah, I'm now going to bring Beasley back on a 2-year, $10 million deal flat, and he may potentially be moved. And Obi Toppin is actually sitting in free agency. I'm going to give him a 3-year deal backloaded starting at 4 mil and ending at around 4.4. And he agrees to that. So I actually think I have enough guys I would run out for, I believe, what would be the 4th year or 5th year of this rebuild. I'll double check in a second. Player progression though, AD obviously going down, but I feel like our team is still pretty well rounded to be good around him. I'm going to give Jet Howard, this young guy, some run this year. The only guy who's not going to play here this year is probably Malik Thomas, but I still feel like the squad's good enough to maybe be a playing team, which I'm fine with. And if it doesn't work out in the next couple of years, once AD is too old, Anthony Black will probably be near a 90. Sky Clark will progress. Jet Howard will progress, and we'll probably still have guys who can compete at that point. So here's what our post LeBron lineup is looking like for this 5th year now of the rebuild. Sky Clark at the 1, Anthony Black at the 2, Christie at the 3, Triple J at the 4, AD at the 5, with Terrence Mann, not Trey Mann, sixth man, Beasley, seventh man, Obi Toppin, eighth man, and Malik Thomas, I'm actually going to run at the ninth man because he was my 16th overall pick. Jet Howard was a late second round pick, and he does have slightly better ratings at this point, so we're going to give him a chance instead. I honestly don't know if this team is going to be good enough for a play-in or playoffs, or if they're just going to be completely terrible, so we're both going to find out soon. Okay, so we are at the trade deadline. We're 33-22, which is a pretty good record. It's good enough for the 6th seed, and we're 2 games out of a play-in spot. But here's the thing. Anthony Davis is 33 years old. I have him on a three more year deal here. So by the time he gets into that last year, it's probably going to be really hard to trade him, and his value is going to be much lower than it is right now. So I think the move right now is to potentially try to trade AD. Once we get off of him, the oldest significant guys in our starting lineup is Jaren Jackson, who's 27 years old. So I feel like I should look for guys in that range. If we go to Team Intel, the Raptors are a selling team, and they still have Scottie Barnes, who I could potentially pick up, because I'm going to show you something else right now. That unprotected Memphis pick I got is insanely valued right now, but I do not really want to go for high draft picks, as I've already got young guys who I'm progressing here, and I don't want to keep adding more onto them, where throughout this 10-year rebuild I'm just going to keep bringing young guys, and I'm never going to hit a peak with my guys. So I could get a 25-year-old in Scottie Barnes here, who is already like hitting his prime, playing insanely well, really good defense, really good offensive guy. And I could get a guy back in Vucevic right now, who's on a 2-year deal, who could just play solid backup center minutes for me and probably put up better numbers as a backup with less of a role. So this is like a move where I can still compete now and still be better off in the future, getting a guy like Scottie Barnes, who's locked up on a multi-year deal, who I could probably re-sign. So I am going to try to do this trade with the Raptors at the trade deadline, and they agree. So here's what our new 10-man rotation is going to look like. Clark at the 1, Black at the 2, Chrissy at the 3, Barnes at the 4 with JJJ at the 5, Vucevic 6th man, Beasley 7th man, Toppin 8th man, Terrence Mann 9th man, and Jackie Howard as the 10th man, because Malik Thomas is not playing the best so far. So I feel like for the second half, I'll give him that run instead to see if which one of them will have the better numbers after the season, to see who will get the points or the minutes next season. So yeah, let's see if that helps us now and for the future at the end of this year. Season is about to wrap. We're 44-37, so slightly better than last year, and we win the last game, so 45-37. Wemby MVP, Bryce Tillman Rookie of the Year, Hendricks 6th man, Wemby Depoy, Jaden Bradley Most Improved, Wes Unseld. So a team goes 66-16. All NBA first looking like this. All NBA second looking like this with the young guys already on there, and All NBA third with some young guys as well. All defensive first, none of our guys. All defensive second, Triple J, love to see that. And do we get a rookie finally? We do not. So we're a play-in team again, which I'm honestly okay with. Stats on the year, Triple J as a Laker, 19 points, 8 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 3 blocks, shoots 50, 40, 85, so insane year from him. Anthony Black, his efficiency gets way better. Still doing pretty much the same as last year, 18, 6, and 6 with two steals a night as well. So he has a great year. Scottie Barnes, we got to look at his split stats when he came here. So his points come down, gets rebounds go up a lot though, same with assists. Still gives us a steal a night, 50, 34, 84. So his 3-point comes down, unfortunately. Sky Clark on our team as a starter plays insanely well, 16 points, 2 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, shoots 48, 40, 90. Vucevic, we got to look at his split stats over here. I think I just passed it. So his numbers come down to 13 points. Boards come down. Assists go up, though. And his efficiency actually gets way better coming off the bench for us. Max Christie still playing insanely well. Really efficient in that starting lineup, giving us 13 points again. Beasley still playing insanely efficient as well, but his points come down coming off the bench. Malik Thomas, we saw his numbers. Didn't play the most efficient in his first year. Obi Toppin played all right, might lose his minutes in the playoffs. Jackie Howard, I'd say, played worse than Malik Thomas, so he's probably going to get those minutes in the playoffs. And Terrence Mann actually had a much better season, still putting up around the same points, rebounds, and assists, but shooting much more efficiently at 48, 39, 80. and that was everyone in the lineup. So who do the Clippers have on their team these days? They got Markkanen and Jaylen Brown. They have Bones Highland still, and then an 81 at the 4 with Zubac at the 5. So they honestly have a pretty solid team there. Can we win this first playing game? We cannot. So now we have to win the second one against the Dallas Mavericks, who probably still have a Luka. They do. So they have 98 Luka, 86 Jimmy Butler, but the rest of their squad around them is not that good. So I feel pretty good about our chances. We do have to win this game to make it out, and we do win it. So now we have the 1-seeded Spurs, who are probably insanely good with Wemby. Yep, 90 Isaiah Collier. They got Jaden Ivey, 88. 86 Keldon Johnson, 86 Sadiq, and 97 Wembanyama. This team is going to be very hard to beat. Game 1, we lose. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we lose. Can we make a comeback? Game 6, we lose. So we lose in the first round. This team being in the playoffs, though, was pretty impressive. Scoot is your West MVP, Tyrese East MVP, and the Rockets win it in 5 with Scoot as your Finals MVP. Oh my god, dude. I just simmed the lottery, and we ended up with the first overall pick from Sacramento. That is insane. I know I said I don't really need the young guys anymore, but if I have the first overall pick, I have to see who's here. Already, Trace Milton, power forward. The undeniable first pick from Canada represent. He's a B- overall. He has Hall of Fame potential. And yeah, I got to pick up Trace Milton with the first overall pick. So Trace comes in, highest overall player in the draft. He's an 80 at 18 years old. This guy is going to be a stud. And yeah, no one really comes close. So I brought Sky Clark back on his team option. I'm going to try to get Anthony Black back on a 5-year extension starting at 35 mil and ending at around 46. He agrees to that. I honestly have enough guys I'd like to play. I have even more guys that I'd like to play that probably aren't going to make it in the rotation. So we're just going to sim the free agency. We do get Jackie Howard back on the qualifying. Player progression, everyone going up except for Vucevic, which is fine. He's 36 years old, last year of his deal. He's just going to try to help us be better than we already are. Anthony Black, almost a 90 at 23 years old. Sky Clark's progressing. Christie's still progressing. Trace Milton, we got to watch him for the rest of these years because he could end up being like the best player in the league. And Malik Thomas progresses a lot as well. Let's sim to, I believe, the 6th season and hopefully push over the top now in this post-LeBron era. So yeah, at this point, I'm just going to let 2K come up with the best 10-man lineup. They have Clark at the 1, Black at the 2, Christie at the 3, Barnes at the 4, JJJ at the 5 with Vucevic 6th man, Beasley 7th man, Trace Milton 8th man, Malik Thomas 9th man, and Terrence Mann as the 10th man. So Obi Toppin and Jackie Howard unfortunately falling out of the rotation. We still have a 4.5 star system proficiency. Let's sim this 7th season, I believe. Actually, this is the 6th year. So sim this 6th year out of 10 and see if we're enough to compete and get over the top, or if we're still kind of in that rebuilding mode, progressing these young guys. Year 6 is about to wrap. We could have the same record as last year. We're 44-37 and we lose. So 1 game worse than last year, I think. Luka on the Bulls now is the MVP. This guy, Rookie of the Year. Gregory Jackson, 6th man. Wemby Depoy, Flowers, Most Improved, and Steven Silas, Coach of the Year. Here's your All-NBA first, All-NBA second with Cole Pete on the Raptors on there with Scotty Barnes gone, and All-NBA third. All-Defensive first looking like this. No Triple J on all defensive teams, unfortunately. And we don't get our guy on all rookie first, which is surprising because he actually got a decent amount of minutes. Once again, we are the 7th seed, so we really got to hope in these next 2 years here we can break out of the play-in and be a true playoff team. Anthony Black has an insane year, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, shoots almost 50, 40, 90. Sky Clark, insane year, 17 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 50, 40, 90. Triple J, great year as well, 15 points, 6 boards, 1 steal, 2 blocks, almost 50, 40, 80. Scotty Barnes, 15 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, 1 steal, shooting 50, 33. So his 3-point is kind of worse, which is not the best. Vucevic has a really good year though, 11 points, 7 boards on 48, 37, 87. Max Christie still playing insanely efficient, giving me double-digit scoring, shooting just lights out from 3. Malik Thomas has an improvement year, putting up 11 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 50, 36, 80. Malik Beasley, still just a sharpshooter off the bench. Trace Milton had a terrible rookie season efficiency-wise. So yeah, we gotta hope he figures it out in these next couple years here and gets to that Tim Duncan status and is not a bust. Terrence Mann also had a bad year. He's probably gonna be out for the play-in. And that was everyone who played. So first game against Memphis, who still has Jaw. They have Malachi Branham at the 2, MJ Rice, 86 Cameron Boozer, and 87 Basala. They actually have a pretty good team. Simulate game. We obviously lose it because we always lose these first games. And now we have a rivalry against Golden State, who have 87 Poole, 89 Azor Thompson, 86 Wiggins, 89 Cat, and 80 Pirtle. I don't know how these teams are playing teams. We're just gonna simulate through game and we win it, so we make it into the playoffs again. We've been making it into the playoffs, just haven't been able to make it far because you have teams like the Houston Rockets who are running 490s in their starting lineup in Scoot, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, and Şengün, and have a cusp guy in Ron Holland, 87 at the 3. So yeah, I'd be shocked if we win this. I'm gonna sim the games though just to see if we can pick one up, and we pick one up there. We pick 2 up, we lose the 5th, we bring it to a game 7. Gonna simulate this one with Simcast, even though it hasn't been going well for us doing that in these videos though. Going into the 2nd, they're up on us. Going into the 4th, they're up, but they're not up by that much. And yeah, they're just a better team. They pull away in the 4th. Actually, no, they pulled away kind of in the 3rd. And how did they drop 140 on us? It was the 2nd and 3rd that we played bad in. So yeah, they had Trey Johnson and Marcus Johnson. Their lineup is insane, like insanely deep. Their starting 5 is nasty. Anthony Black played great. So did Jaren Jackson played all right. Sky Clark played really well too, but everyone else did not show up. So we've got, I believe, 3 more years to go here, as it's Luka and Wemby in the finals on the Bulls and Spurs, and Wemby wins it for the Spurs in 4 games. So we have the 17th and 18th pick in the draft. Maybe I could use those in a trade to bring in a decent guy. I'm gonna use those first and Obi Toppin plus a 2nd to get a bit younger here, and Kenyon Martin, who's 3 years younger and fills a spot that we could potentially use. And also this young guy in Dalton Underwood, who's 22, hasn't played in the league yet, but could potentially progress for us. So they should agree to this, and they do. Barnes declines his player option. I should be able to bring him back though, and Malik Thomas is going to get his team accepted. Sky Clark and Jackie Howard will both get qualifying offers. So yeah, number 1 priority here, bring back Scottie Barnes. I'm going to give him a $41.5 million deal backloaded for 5 years, ending at around 55. He agrees to that off rip. Then I'm going to give Sky Clark a 5-year extension starting at $22.5 mil and ending at 27. He agrees to that. Jackie Howard has not really played for me much in the league yet, but he does have really good inside and mid-range scoring and is an insanely good defender. So I'm going to see if I can get him on like a $16 million extension for 3 years backloaded, and maybe trade him to another team for a player that better suits what I need. He agrees to that. I'm not going to be able to resign Malik Beasley, who is on the older age anyway now. So I'm going to trade Jackie Howard and a 1st to the Knicks for Moses Moody and a 1st back. Whereas Moses Moody is older, obviously, but he's much more of an efficient scorer and has experience, which Jackie Howard does not. So they could use him kind of as a progression piece in their rebuild, and they agree. Lastly, I'm going to bring Vucevic back for 1 more year to help us contend here on an $18 million deal, and that will be my last time re-signing him. So player progression, still have 2 90s. Unfortunately, Anthony Black does not get there, but Trace Milton progressing like crazy. Malik Thomas progressing a lot as well, same as Sky Clark. Vucevic obviously goes down, and everyone else is either staying the same or progressing. Let's sim to the 7th year, get the lineup ready, and I think it's finally time to be a solidified playoff team. Here is this year 7 lineup, same starting 5 as last year, with Trace Milton as a 6th man now, Malik Thomas 7th man, Vucevic 8th man, Kenyon Martin 9th man, and Moses Moody as the 10th man. I have been on a cold streak lately, so hopefully in these last 3 years we can pull out a championship for the Lakers. We are at the trade deadline. We're only 1 game above 500, and I am not happy with that, so I'm definitely going to look to make a big change right now. Okay, crazy turn of events here. I put Sky Clark, Vucevic, and 2 firsts in the trade finder, and the Bucks would offer me Donovan Mitchell, who is on the older side now, 32 years old, but he's won in the league with Cleveland, and he's still an insanely efficient scorer. So I think I'd be stupid not to do this trade if they're going to offer it to me, and they would obviously agree to it. They do. So here's the new 9-man rotation after during that trade. Anthony Black at the 1, Mitchell at the 2, Barnes at the 3, Trace Milton gonna get run at that 4 spot with Jaren Jackson at the 5, and then Malik Thomas 6th man, Christie 7th man, Kenyon Martin 8th man, and Moses Moody rounding it off as the 9th man. I think we would still be 4.5 stars. That's not what I wanted to go see. That's also not what I wanted to go see. This is what I want to see. Yep, 4.5 star balance. Hopefully getting that star power is enough to put us back on the right course. It does seem like the star power was enough. We're literally going to end up with like the same record we've had the past 3 years, but we are much better than we were at the trade deadline with 1 game left against the Jazz, and we win. So 45 wins in the year. Wemby MVP, this guy rookie, Cameron Bruiser 6th man, Wemby Depoy as always, Bryce James most improved on the Celtics, Wes Unseld 70 win team in the league. Don't know who that is. Here's your All NBA first, All NBA second, and All NBA third. So none of our guys with all defensive first looking like this. And we get Triple J back on second team, so good to see that. And we would not have any rookies. Once again, we are a playing team, but I feel much better about our chances this time around. Player stats, we got to look at Donovan Mitchell's split stats since he came here. So his points come down, rebounds come down, assists go up a lot though, steals stay the same, and he still shoots insanely efficiently. Anthony Black putting up 19 points, 7 boards, 8 assists with still 2 steals and shooting efficiently. So he's almost putting up like a double-double. Triple J, 15 points, 7 boards, 1 steal, almost 3 blocks. Efficiency kind of comes down, but that's all right. He still shoots pretty decently. Scotty Barnes also has a better year than last year, but not as good as he was when I traded for him. 15 points, 6 boards, 5 assists, 1 steal. Shooting pretty decent. Malik Thomas also has a down year, but his points come up, and he almost puts up 7 assists coming off the bench with 2 steals. So that's insane. Trace Milton has a much better second year, 13.7 boards, 2 assists, almost a steal and a block, shooting much better. Max Christie, still a flamethrower guy we have. Moses Moody was still an efficient guy that came in and stretched the floor for us. Kenyon Martin, also a guy who just came in and stretched the floor. Not really a good defender. And that was everyone. So Dallas no longer has Luka though. They have a 96 LaMelo Ball, 97 Shea, 87 Isaiah Evans, 84 Simmons, and 82 Christian Wood. I do not understand how these teams are in the play-in. So can we beat that stacked team? We can. So we're actually in the playoffs as a 7 seed to go against the God Squad Houston Rockets, who are running damn near 590s in their starting lineup. Same guys as before who are always there. This is going to be really tough, even though we actually have 490s in our lineup now. So we actually could compete with them. It's pretty damn ridiculous though that I have 9 or 490s in my starting lineup and I'm a 7 seed as we go up 2-1 on the Rockets. They tie it up 2-2. Can we go up here? We win. We go, actually we don't win. We go up 3-2, 3-3. I'm not simulating with this with Simcast because that never works. And we still lose in 7 to the Houston Rockets. We gotta pray we get Donovan Mitchell back in free agency if I can. If I cannot, I'll be very disappointed, as the champions here are the Heat in 4 with Ian Jackson as your finals MVP. So team player options, Malik, Trace, and Dalton are all gonna get that accepted. If we go to qualifying offers, I'm not gonna give it to Julian Champagne over here. And moratorium, can we bring back D Mitchell? It looks like we will be able to. If I have to lose Max Christie because of it, I will. Since he has no offers, I'm going to try to extend him for 3 years, backloaded, starting at 41 mil and ending at 45. So it looks like he will agree to it. Then it also looks like I can get Max Christie back, who I'm actually going to overpay slightly here at 21 mil. Backloaded for 4 years, and potentially use him in a trade to upgrade as well. So yeah, I'm actually gonna swap out Max Christie for Wendell Carter Jr., who's gonna play my backup power forward / center minutes. I don't need Max Christie as I have other guys who can play that spot. Yes, it is sad to see him go, but he's like an efficient guy for me, but everyone else on my team is efficient right now, and he doesn't give me any defense, whereas Wendell Carter can score inside and outside and give me some decent defense. So we're going to do this trade with the Magic in the offseason, and they agree. Player progression, we have 390s here. Anthony Black will probably get there throughout the season. Malik Thomas himself is almost a 90. Trace Milton is almost a 90. And then we have a bunch of 80 overalls here or higher to round off the bench. If this team is in the play-in, I will be absolutely shocked. Let's sim to this 8th year, I believe. Here's our year 8 lineup. Same starting 5 as last year after the trade deadline. So yeah, 3 90s and 2 guys that are almost 90s, with Malik Thomas 6 man who's almost a 90 himself. Wendell Carter, Kenyon Martin, and Moses Moody all rounding off the rotation there. Do we finally have 5-star system? We do not, so we're just going to stick with our 4.5-star balance and probably sim this whole year out, because I will be shocked if we are a playing team or don't have a good record. Year 8 is about to wrap. We're finally a 50-win team with 53 wins, 1 game left against the Suns, and we lose. So 53-29, Wemby MVP, this guy Rookie of the Year. Malik Thomas, 6th Man of the Year, 21 points, 2 boards, 9 assists, almost 2 steals, shooting almost 50, 40, 90. Wemby Depoy, this guy Most Improved, and Silas gets Trophy of the Year. Here is your All-NBA first, All-NBA second, and All-NBA third. So none of our guys. Same with all defensive teams. We actually get Jaren Jackson on all defensive again, so good to see that. And again, we would not have any rookies. Finally, we are not a playing team. We're the 6th seed though somehow with a 53-win season. Malik Thomas as the 6th man actually ended up leading the team in scoring, which is crazy. D Mitch in that starting lineup though, full season with us, plays insanely good. 19 points, 3 boards, 6 assists, 1 steal, 50, 40, 90. Anthony Black, 18 points, 6 boards, almost 8 assists, 2 steals, 49, 38, 90. Trace Milton, not stretching the floor that well, but he's playing really well for us in general. 15 points, almost 16, 9 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, almost a block. Not shooting the most efficient. Scotty Barnes is still being a pretty efficient guy for us though, and being a good all-around player. Triple J back to a 40% 3-point shooting season, so love to see that, almost giving us 3 blocks a night again. Wendell Carter Jr. comes in and obviously plays worse when he comes here and plays for us, so hopefully he can pick it up in the playoffs. Moses Moody shooting lights out for us. He pretty much does what Max Christie does on a much cheaper deal. And Kenyon Martin also did not have the best season, so hopefully he can pick it up for the playoffs. Round 1 against the 3-seeded Memphis Grizzlies, who still have a 98 Jaw, 80 Quickly, 99 Jason Tatum, 94 Basala Bagayoko, and 94 Cameron Boozer. How am I supposed to compete with these teams, bro? I swear. I do anything more than a 5-year rebuild and the whole league is stacked. Like every single team has 4+ 90s in their starting lineup. I just gotta hope I have the depth to get me out of here as we lose game 1, lose game 2, lose game 3, lose game 4. Like, come on, bro. How am I supposed to compete with this? Like, it's not even funny at this point. It's not even fun. Like, the Rockets winning 7 against the Heat. Just gonna sim to the next year really quick here. And probably run through this offseason really quick, because I just think that was really dumb how that ended, as we have the 4th overall pick though from the Knicks, as you can see. So maybe I could use that to make a big splash over here, as at this point I'm done bringing in young guys. Eric Spoelstra is a free agent, and I think I have to pay him all I can give him to try to bring him back over here as he signs back with us. So good to see that. Let's enter this draft now and probably look for a trade. I could not trade this pick, so I honestly think I'm just gonna pick like the highest rated guy here and hope that I can move him. If not though, I probably should look to see who the best guy is here. It seems like Stacey Bennett is that guy. He comes in as a 75. We'll probably trade him. So Jaren Jackson is a free agent. He's 30 years old. I'm going to try to extend him on a 5-year deal front loaded though. So as he's getting older, he will be getting less money, because as a center, he'll probably regress. So he agrees to that, but unfortunately I will have to renounce Kenyon Martin and Moses Moody. I feel like I would prefer to have Wendell Carter back on a cheaper deal, so I'm going to try to do that. Then yeah, Wendell Carter I'm going to extend for 4 years, 14.5 mil front loaded as well. So when he's 35, he'll be making 12 mil. Both of those guys agree. Now I'm going to try to extend Malik Thomas on a 5-year deal starting at 36 mil and ending at around 47.5, and he agrees. So now still in free agency, I'm going to trade my 4th overall pick, Stacey Bennett. This young guy, Dalton Underwood, who's 24, hasn't really gotten a chance for me, but actually has pretty good grades here. He can stretch the floor, not a good defender. And 2 seconds for Andrew Nembhard and Darius Baisley, as all I need right now is a backup shooting guard, and he is insanely efficient, as well as Darius Baisley, who I'm going to change to my backup small forward. So they'll do this trade to get younger pieces for their rebuild without Embiid, and they agree. So here's what our guys look like going into this second last year. Unfortunately, Triple J does regress under a 90. Same with Donovan Mitchell, and Wendell Carter regresses as well. I just gotta hope Trace Milton and Malik progress above 90 as well so we can compete with the rest of the league. Let's sim to the second last year here and hope we have enough to finally get over the top. So here's what our 9-man rotation is for the second last year. Anthony Black at the 1, Mitchell at the 2, Barnes at the 3, Milton at the 4, Jaren Jackson at the 5, with Malik Thomas 6-man, Wendell Carter 7th man, Nembhard 8th man, and Darius Bazley as the 9th man. At the trade deadline, I may potentially look for a Donovan Mitchell trade if it's not looking too well, as we're still 4.5 star balance, so we're gonna stick with that. We'll cross that road when we get there though. Okay, we are at the trade deadline. We only have a 10 game winning margin. I think we're 32-22, which is just not good enough. I feel like having two insanely good point guards in Anthony Black and Malik Thomas over here just doesn't make sense. Malik Thomas's per 36 are actually better than what Anthony Black's would be. So I think I would be willing to move Anthony Black a first and Darius Bazley, who's having a pretty good year, but both of these guys are just having better years. So I would move a really good guy, a future first that's not that valuable, and a role player who's not really doing much for two mid to really good role players back, just to kind of improve my lineup even more. I think I'd be okay with doing this trade. Let's hope it doesn't bite me in the butt and the Cavs agree to it. So here's what the new 9-man rotation looks like. Malik Thomas starting now at the 1, Donovan Mitchell at the 2, Barnes at the 3, and I'm actually going to swap Jaren Jackson and Trace Milton just to see if it helps Jaren Jackson a bit more. Then Keldon Johnson 6th man with AJ Dembinsa 7th man, Wendell Carter 8th man, and Nembhard as the 9th man. Hopefully that's enough. I really don't know what else I can do. Let's sim to the end of the year. Season is about to wrap. We're 2 games under 50 and we win. So 49 wins in the year. Wemby's just always the MVP. Art Morris 6th man. Wemby's always the depoy. This guy most improved. Wes Unseld coach of the year. All NBA first looking like this. Second looking like this. Third looking like this. None of our guys. All defensive first and second. Also none of our guys. And Anthony Black, I trade him away and he ends up on an all defensive team. So that is not good. And again, we don't have any rookies. Let's see where we are. We're a 4 seed this time, so there's improvement over there. AJ leads our team in scoring, but that is because he was on another team probably starting before. So yeah, his points come down by 3 when he comes here. His rebounds come down, his assists come down. Still puts up almost 2 steals a night though, and his efficiency is actually much better here. 59 from the field, 50 from 3. Not the best from the line though. Malik Thomas, we should look at his split stats too to see how much he got better before and after. So his points come up by almost 5, his rebounds come up by 2, and he averages 12 assists from 8 in the starting lineup and still puts up almost 2 steals and shoots 50, 40, or 90. So I'm not mad about moving Anthony Black if I'm going to get that out of him. Donovan Mitchell, I was going to look to trade him, but he's just shooting so efficient and still plays good defense. Trace Milton, also having a decent year. I wanted to move him to the center spot because he's also not the best 3-point shooter, so it kind of makes more sense to have him at the center spot. Scotty Barnes, still playing good all around, but his 3-point shooting is getting worse. Jaren Jackson also has a good all-around year again. His defensive numbers are starting to lack a bit in his older age. Keldon Johnson, we should look at his split stats here as well. His points come down, rebounds go up though, and assists go up, and his efficiency gets better, so we'll take that. And then Andrew Nembhard as well. His numbers would come down, but his efficiency also gets better here, so love to see that. And then Wendell Carter we had for the full year, who did not play too well, so maybe I will not play him at all. We've got Dallas in the first round. I'm pretty sure they had a completely insane squad. Okay, so Dallas is the new OKC Thunder with 97 Shea, 93 Giddey, 88 Trey Johnson, 80 Trey Murphy, and 85 Kyle Phillips. I feel like my team is better. They have the better star in Shea though. Game 1 we do lose. Game 2 we also lose. I don't understand how I'm losing. Game 3 we win. Game 4 we win. Game 5 we win. Can we get out of here? We go to a game 7. I will simulate this with Simcast because last time it didn't work when I didn't do it, so I'm hoping for some better luck here as Dallas goes off in the first, they go off in the second, and we need to have a huge comeback here. We do kind of come back in the fourth, and Dallas just runs away with it. I truly do not know what else I can do. Like, I truly do not know what else I have to do here. We have 2 more seasons to sim here. Hopefully I can get it done. It's just like ridiculous at this point. that every single team has so many 90s, as Wemby is your finals MVP, as the Spurs win this time. Like, I honestly don't know what else I can do. I try to make the best trades to put our team in the best positions. I get good first round picks that end up being high, that I ended up getting earlier in the video, that turned into really good players. I'm signing better head coaches. Like, there's really nothing else that I'm thinking of that I can do to make this team better. So the Mavericks, who just beat me in 7, would swap Trey Johnson for Donovan Mitchell in 2 seconds. There's really no reason why they would do this. They're the same overall, and Trey Johnson is like 6 years younger. There's really no pieces I have that I could give them that would really be valuable to them, like maybe Wendell Carter or Andrew Nembhard. Actually, they heavily value Wendell Carter, and I honestly don't really need him. So I feel like this makes the trade more realistic. They get some more depth, and they give me a guy who I just feel like would be better, as Donovan Mitchell will probably regress for me. So we're going to do this trade in the offseason with the Mavericks, and they agree. I'm going to bring Keldon Johnson back on a 2-year flat deal for 20 mil. He agrees to that. Then I'm going to re-sign Trace Milton on a 5-year deal, Bird, starting at 36 mil and ending at around 47.5. He agrees to that. I'm going to bring Naz Reid in on a 2-year flat deal for 6.5 mil. And that is going to be it for free agency. Player progression, we see a lot of regression here and not a lot of progression. Scottie is still a 90 though. Triple J unfortunately goes under. Malik Thomas, Trey Johnson, Trace Milton should all be 90 plus by the end of this year. Keldon Johnson unfortunately regresses too, same with Nembhard. I really like this team, is pretty much the best I can do. I don't think I can upgrade it much more than I already have. So I'm just going to get this lineup ready real quick. We're going to run a short 8-man rotation. So really going heavy on our starting guys. I don't think Lonnie Walker is good enough to play here. If we look at our system proficiency, it is still 4.5 stars. Nothing is 5 stars. So we're going to keep running out with balance. Sim this second last year. And I just got to keep hoping, man. When I make moves, it just still doesn't work out, as we start off pretty decent here and we're kind of going back and forth. We are back slightly on top. We're 55-26 with 1 game left against the Jazz, and we lose. So 55-27. Cameron Boozer is the new MVP. This guy, Rookie of the Year. Ace Bailey, 6th man. Wemby, Depoy. Chris Reeves, Most Improved. And Lucas, Coach of the Year. Malik Thomas, All NBA First Team. Let's go. This guy puts up, okay, that's his advanced. 24 points, 3 boards, 13 assists, 2 steals, shooting 48, 38, 89. Absolutely insane year from him. Love to see we get an All-NBA guy. We don't get anyone else on any teams though, so that's unfortunate. We do end up as a 3 seed though, which I think is the highest we've been this whole video. If we go to these player stats here, I'm sure Malik is leading the way. He's actually not. Trey Johnson comes in, puts up 28 points, 8 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, shoots 50, almost 50, 90. That's insane. We saw Malik Thomas. Trace Milton has a much better year, 19 points, 10 boards, 5 assists, a steal, and a block, shooting much more efficiently. Scottie Barnes has a better efficient year, and like I said, still a good all-around guy. Triple J, kind of the same guy, just like an all-around big who plays good defense and shoots the ball efficiently. Keldon Johnson had another efficient shooting year for us. Nembhard had another efficient year for us. Naz Reid had a really good year for us compared to his last season, so that was big for us coming off the bench. And that was all the guys. So round 1 against Golden State, who have an 87 Mikey Williams, 90 Isaiah Harwell, 78 Tyrese Proctor, so we should be able to expose them there. Then 88 Kuminga and 90 Chet. We're pretty evenly matched, except for the fact that they have a 78. So if 2K cheeses me here, I'll be upset, as we lose game 1, we win game 2, we win game 3, we lose game 4, we lose game 5, dude. There's no way. There's no way, bro. How am I losing these series, dude? Like, come on. This game is so trash, bro. The game is so trash. The AI system they have is trash. My career is trash. Like, it's just so frustrating, bro, that they make people spend money on this game and they just don't make a proper working game that actually makes sense. Maybe it's the fact I load in the draft classes that people just put OP guys inside that just makes the league just like not playable. I do have a first round pick this year. Like maybe I trade Triple J if I can, and that first round pick, which can't even be traded. I picked up this guy Courtney Powers with that 26th pick, I think, or 21st pick. We have no team player options. We have no qualifying offers. I'm gonna make this trade with the Celtics in the offseason because I feel like Triple J is gonna regress, and I wanna get ahead of it now with picking up Asa Noel, who will fill his spot and honestly plays really good, just not as good defensively numbers wise. Keldon Johnson will go over there so I can get Justin Edwards back, and I'm going to give them my young guy Courtney Powers, and they agree. Okay, so Bronny James is sitting in free agency, and he never really progressed, but he does have good grades and good stats, so I'm going to bring him in on a 4-year back deal. I'm also going to bring Nembhard back on a 1-year $9 million deal and maybe move him. So we get both those guys. So let's sim to player progression here. Scotty Barnes goes up because I moved him back to power forward where he's better. I'm surprised Malik, Trey, and Trace don't go up to a 90. Same with Asa Noel. Justin Edwards goes down, unfortunately. So does Nembhard. I'm going to sim to the next year and maybe look for a trade for a backup center with Nembhard because I do need one. So we'll look into that first. And yeah, I'm going to trade Andrew Nembhard, Jackson Hayes, and a second for Al Horford Jr. And I'm not going to take the first round pick back because I just feel like it's too unrealistic. So they're going to agree to that. I just realized we've already done 10 years. So I already got this far. I'm just going to run this last year here and see if we can do anything. Here is the 8th man lineup. I won't spend too much time on it. Let's sim this 11th season now. Technically 10 if you don't count that first one. And we'll see if anything can happen with this team. Last season is about to wrap. We need one more win for 50 against the Clippers, and we win it. So 50 wins again. Not going to spend too much time on the awards here, as Anthony Black is a 6th man on the Cavs now. So not the best look for him. Aiden Anderson, Coach of the Year. Do we get any All-NBA guys? We do not get, our guy Malik on there again, which is unfortunate. No defensive guys. We end up as a 3 seed again. I'm not going to spend too much time on the stats, just going to look for any outliers here. So yeah, you can stop and take a look if you want. Everyone here is playing pretty damn well. We got 3 20-point per game scores. Malik Thomas double-double. Trace Milton playing solid now too. Scotty has a good year. Bronny has a good year. Justin Edwards, good year. Naz Reid has a good year. And yeah, everyone honestly played pretty well. Round 1 against the Suns. Do they have a God squad? They have 2 90s, an 85, an 86, and a 78. We really should be able to be winning these. As we lose the first game, we lose the second game, bro. Like, this is just so ridiculous. I'm literally gonna run a 5-man rotation, and if my guys foul out, these guys will step in and help out. But like, there's really nothing else I think I can do. As we go down 3-0, we get swept by the worst seed. I'm done with this video, man. I literally don't know what I can do. I'm telling you, every single playoff series, when I would lose a game, I would adjust the rotation and make it less so that my better players were getting more minutes. If we do a recap here, we only made the finals once, which was in that first year with LeBron. We actually were pretty competitive the last couple years with LeBron in the playoffs, and then on the end of there, it kind of skidded off a bit. And then since then, it's just been ridiculous. Like, I'm sure you guys watching and seeing the teams that I built throughout the years probably thought I should have won a championship, but the league is just so ridiculous right now. Like, if you go through every single team, you're probably going to find, actually not through this. Okay, some of these teams are getting worse. Honestly, I should just look through the West. Like 1, 2, 3 90s, almost 4 90s. 1, 2, almost 3, 4 90s. These are Eastern Conference team. The Rockets have been stacked. The Spurs are absolutely stacked. The Suns are stacked right now, who just beat me. And actually, technically, my starting 5 was way better than their starting 5. And they don't even have a deep bench, and this team beat me. I'm probably going to stick to some shorter rebuilds in the next little while here, maybe like 5 years max, because clearly these 10 rebuilds, it's just not worth it to have disappointment like this because the game's just garbage. And the way the system works makes absolutely no sense. Also, probably partially my fault for putting in draft classes that are not well made, and every single like top 15 guy ends up being a 90 overall. Hope you all enjoyed though. I'm almost at 500 subs. If you can get me there, I appreciate it a lot. I think I need like 3 more. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm back on the right schedule now that the trade deadline week is done and there's no stuff happening where I think the team is done doing trades and I make a video and the next day they do a trade. But yeah, that's gonna be it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.